Hello everyone, welcome back to the itshanood channel. Make sure to like and subscribe before we get started. And today I will be ranking the cast of Singles Inferno 2. Jones. So just a disclaimer, don't take this too seriously because this is just for fun and reality TV is heavily edited. Anyway, let's start off strong with Dongwoo. Forgive me if I butcher their Korean names. So what are my notes? What did I write here? Sorry, I need to look at my presentation notes. Yeah, so I found him okay for the first few episodes. He was bearable. I thought he was fine until the moment that he basically finessed Nadine, basically implying to her that he wants to take her to paradise, but then instead choosing Silky. That was really shady of him. I said trolled Nadine hard like a rat. That's the perfect way to describe it. And it just kept going downhill from there about how I felt about him. His date with Silky was just so cringe. Like every time he spoke, I was like, bruh, stop. It was just so awkward. Like you can tell that she was just getting so annoyed by him and he couldn't take the hint. And he kept pressuring Silky to tell her about how she's feeling, even though she doesn't know. And like they're literally on their first date together. This guy is just weird. Also, his whole thing where he was like arguing with Jin Young for no reason. I forgot what it was about, but it was so petty. He was like, oh yeah, he was talking to Jungwoo like, hey, if you go to paradise, can you let me speak with Silky? Because like I want to have some time to speak with her and you're gonna have paradise with her. Jin Young was like, wait, what are you guys talking about? And he was like, it's none of your business. Like he's so petty, like he's so jealous of Jin Young and it's so obvious. I don't know, I got like weird vibes from that as well. And also the way he like treats the girls, like he doesn't treat them as if they're on like equal levels. He kind of treats them as if he's their bigger brother. Like it's giving bigger brother more than lover vibes. And Silky even told him, like, you treat me as if you're, like, way older than me, which is true, but still. Maybe because he's a doctor and that's how he, like, talks to patients or something. Like, the way he was talking to Silky in their paradise date was as if she was a patient or something, with the way he was asking so many questions. Yeah, and then I just said he's boring and kept chasing Silky at the end. I guess he had, like, no other option, but it was just really cringe because she made it very obvious in the date and afterwards that she wasn't interested. So, my final rating is solid 4 out of 10. I feel like this is understandable. Next up is Sejong. I have mixed feelings about her because I feel like most people online really love her, which I don't see that. Like, I don't get that. Let me explain. Yeah, I just said sis didn't go to paradise once. Like, that's kind of sad. I have a lot of sympathy for her. And I think the reason is that she intimidates the men there because she seems very confident and like self-assured. And also, I think she doesn't fit the Korean beauty standard apparently because she has tan skin, which is so dumb because all the guys were like complimenting her and how she was like their girl crush. I guess guys in Korea like going for the more innocent, pale, like beauty standard or something. I don't know. Honestly, I just feel like I don't know her enough to give her like such a high rating. Like she just unfortunately didn't get enough screen time because, you know, she wasn't in any relationships. But the one thing that I really didn't like about her was when she cock-blocked Nadine from like talking to Jin Young, even after Nadine was like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to Jin Young now. And then Sejong just like runs after him. And I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. That was just like very bitchy move from her. But otherwise, she's fine. I give her 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty good. Next up, we got Hanbin. I'm just gonna say it straight up, I love Hanbin. He has such golden retriever energy. He just seems like such a good guy. Like he's best friends with Soyi and he was like so determined to help her feel better, like when he got chosen to go to paradise with her. And he just seems so sweet. And also he cooks, like come on. I like how throughout the season he was very like truthful and honest about his feelings, but he never pressured so I don't know how to say her name, Soeun. Once he got the hint that she was more into Yoongjae, he just kind of like accepted it, and I like that. And I like that he wasn't too affected by it. I feel like so many of the participants were like crying and stuff like that. Like Soe, is it actually that deep? I don't know. I guess I haven't never been in that situation. Like how do you know someone for 2 days and you already cry over them? I don't know. Anyways, I feel like the main reason girls didn't pick him is probably because he was shorter than the other guys. Like, I'm gonna be honest. But me personally, Hanbin, I like that. So overall, this is very obvious. He's a 10 out of 10 for me. Next up is Silky. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like her for half of the season. Like, she was giving pick-me vibes. Like, I think cats are fighting outside. Anyway, her whole thing where she would like smile and look up, like I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. That felt so fake to me, and I thought she was gonna be bitchy, but honestly, she wasn't bad. Like, I think I misjudged her. Later on, I kind of understood that actually she's a very honest person. She's true to her feelings. And she's also really humble. Like, for someone that comes from such a rich background, I didn't even, like, she never gave off those vibes, like she was bragging or anything. Like, she was so chill. And I really enjoyed watching her whole dilemma that she had between picking the guy that likes you versus picking the guy that you like. I felt like that was so relatable, because most of the time, us girls just end up picking the guy that we like, even though deep down we know that we should pick the guy that likes us because they'll treat us better. And I'm so happy that she ended up picking Jungwoo at the end. And yeah, I love her. I gave her a solid 9 out of 10. She grew on me. Next we have Jin Young, the person who basically carried this season. Yeah, I said he gives season 1 Gia vibes with the way he's just pulling all these girls. At one point he had like 4 girls wrapped around his fingers, which is like honestly so slay. One thing I really liked about him was how considerate he was to Minsu's feelings when he was like being honest with her about how he, wasn't really feeling her and saw her more as a friend. I didn't expect him to be like that. I thought he was someone who's just very brutally honest, but he was very considerate of how he like talked to her. And honestly, his Riz should be studied. Just like how I felt like everyone was studying Gia's Riz, I think we should study Jin Young's Riz. But yeah, it was clear like at the end that he really just didn't know what he wanted. He realized too late that he liked Silky, and he was just playing a lot of like games, honestly. Like, he will tell a girl that he finds them interesting, or he's curious about them, or he likes them the most, but then he gives them nothing. To Silky, he didn't speak to her after they went to paradise for a while, until he noticed that she was hanging out with Jungwoo more, and he felt threatened. And that's when he started to like put in more effort. I don't know, I was getting like a bit of red flags from how he was acting, especially with the whole thing he did in the finale with Nadine. I was like, what is this guy doing? I gave him the benefit of the doubt though. I was like, I think the producers just forced him to stand with her or something to build suspense. I feel like he just makes people so confused whether he likes them or not. Like, even in the finale, he was like, his line to Silky to choose him was like, I think I like you. That, like, he's giving nothing. Like, what is I think I like you in the finale? The ending was 100% deserved and very satisfying. I have to give him credit that he made the show very interesting and entertaining the moment he came on, so I gave him a 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Nadine. Come on. I think everyone unanimously loves Nadine. So Nadine, she's someone who's always so kind, even when she's getting cock-blocked. I love how like relatably awkward she is. It's just very funny to watch. If I was on reality TV, I would act exactly like her. And I really liked how she had character development in the show. Like, at the beginning, she was like, I never reach out to guys first. Like, I wait for them to come to me. But then by the end of the show, she got out of her comfort zone and she would approach guys. She would be like, hey, I want to talk to you and stuff like that. I just love that for her. And she just seems very sweet and humble. Like, she literally didn't even mention to anyone that she went to Harvard until they specifically asked her. She's just proud that she's studying neuroscience, and she doesn't have to mention the fact that she goes to Harvard. And honestly, I'm just convinced that she was there for her thesis, her Harvard thesis, and that's the plot that I'm going with in my head. And yeah, she's just way out of league of every single guy there, so I'm kind of happy that she went out there single. Of course, a 10 out of 10 for Nadine. Next we have Jungwoo. I found him pretty boring at first because there wasn't a lot going on with him. Like, he was just chilling in Inferno, waiting and like simping after Silky, even though she didn't like him back. Oh yeah, well, at the beginning I didn't like him much because I felt like Silky expressed that she doesn't like you. Why aren't you not giving the other girls a chance? You know what I mean? But once she started to find interest in him, I started to see that, like, oh, he's actually a very like sweet guy. Like, he's very loyal to her and he's very sincere with how he expresses his love. Like, the whole thing where he gave her a book and he was there to comfort her when she was crying. And yeah, well, I think it was just very entertaining to see how he was fighting for his life during the wrestling scene. Like, that just shows his dedication to Silky, and I'm just very happy for him. 8 out of 10. Next we have Soon. I have nothing bad to say about Soan. Like, she's just the most chill, kind, genuine, everything. Like, she's just very nice person. I feel like she's just someone who knows her worth. Even when Zoe came to her for advice, seeking advice with how to deal with Youngjae, she was so chill about it, even though Youngjae's her man. But like, she just doesn't care. She's like, yeah, I'm confident in myself enough for like other girls to be interested in my man, and I don't feel threatened. I feel like every girl in this season was just so like for the girls, except Minsu. And then I said, she's so pretty and chill, I have no choice but to stan, which is the perfect way to end this. 10 out of 10. Next up is her man Youngjae. I said him and Soon are the cutest. Like, they are basically married, I'm convinced, and they were just on their honeymoon. I like how he knows what he wants, and he's also very dedicated to his girl, like Jungwoo. The way he avoided going to paradise with Zoe by picking Nadine was just like the funniest thing. That was peak television right there. The one thing I didn't like about him is that I wish he was more honest with his feelings to Zoe. He could have been more straightforward and been like, hey, I don't like you, instead of leading her on. I felt like, yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about him, but otherwise he's fine. I don't know, I don't like him much, but I like how he is with Soon. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Minsu. My first note, a rat. I literally can't think of a single good thing that I liked about Minsu. I noticed that everything I wrote here is kind of negative. Yeah, I don't know, she just didn't do anything nice. The first instance, her just butting into Nadine and Jin Young's conversation like that.
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening. When all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating voice.
That was so awkward. Like, she just strolls in, sits down, no hello, no nothing. Just sits there like, sis just has no manners. And when it came to her and Nadine picking who they want to go to paradise with, Jin Young was literally like, hey, I would like it if you don't pick me to go to paradise because I want to talk to the other girls. Like, not even implying, he was straight up telling her. Guess what she did? She picks him anyways. She has something against Nadine, I swear to God. I was so satisfied when Jin Young was talking to her in paradise, like, hey, I don't like you. I see you as a friend, please. Yeah, anyway, I hate her so much. She is a 3 out of 10. Honestly, that's too generous. She's a 1 out of 10. Anyway, Sejun. I love Sejun, guys. Yeah, so I honestly thought he was gonna be boring. He was just very stone-faced the entire first day. I was wrong. He turned out to be super funny and charismatic. He literally is now my favorite dude along with Hanbin, even though he joined in so late. I just love his energy the entire time. Like, he was just so unbothered by all the drama that the guys had with each other. And I like how expressive he is with how much he likes Zoe. Most of the other guys kind of hide who they like, or they're like, I'm interested in 2 people. He just straight up was like, Zoe. Like, he said her name 3 times. Like, I love him. And the way he gave up in wrestling was so funny to me. I was like, this guy, he does not care. And I love how he just truly wants the best for Zoe. Like, when she chose Hanbin instead of him, even though he made it super clear that he liked her, he was like, yeah, I actually really wanted you to pick someone else, explore other things, because I just want you to be happy and explore your options and not feel like you need to choose me. And anytime him and Zoe are on my screen, I just scream. Anytime they're on my screen, I scream. And he's just sunshine protector. Love that, best trope. 10 out of 10. Last but not least, we have Zoe. A lot of these people, I had a different perception of them at the beginning, and then it changed later. I genuinely thought she was kind of annoying because I felt like she was doing too much with her aegyo. She'd be like this. That just didn't feel genuine to me, and I thought she was just faking it to look cute or something. But I think she turned it down throughout the season, so I think it was just the first few episodes. I guess she was just nervous or something. I honestly was a bit annoyed just seeing how she couldn't move on from Youngjae, even though she knew him for 2 days. But to be fair, I wasn't too mad about that because I felt like Youngjae was kind of leading her on. So yes, I was a bit annoyed, but then I was like, I can't blame her. I didn't hold that against her too much. And yeah, I really like how honest she is and expressive with her feelings. And to conclude, I actually genuinely like Zoe by the end of the show. And she's the sunshine to Mr. Sunshine Protector, and I just love seeing them. 9 out of 10 for Zoe. So, my final thoughts about the season. I feel like they should really bring in people that have more diverse tastes. The guys always go after the same type of girl, the pale, innocent, that type of girl. This season it was Silky and Soon. And I really like this cast because I feel like they have such a good bond, and I feel like they genuinely liked each other, especially the girls. Yeah, and I just can't wait for season 3, and I really hope that they spice it up more in terms of especially the games. A lot of the games are just so rigged. Like, no one's talking about how Jin Young, when he came, or his big entrance to the Inferno, it was so rigged, by the way. I'm gonna put up a photo, and if you know anything about physics, you would know that like Dongwoo and Jongwoo wouldn't have ever been able to pull Jin Young in that situation because he didn't have any backwards force pulling him, but they had a sidewards force pulling both of them, and they were like counteracting each other. I don't know how to explain it. It was so rigged. Like, it was rigged for Jin Young to win and to look cool. And also, like, a lot of these games are so physical for no reason. Like, can we have something, I don't know, a cooking game, a game involving like strategy, something to do with your brain, especially with the guys, seeing them do such like physical sports, and you just know in your mind that like the shortest guy there or the thinnest guy there is just never gonna win. Like, it's so frustrating. It's like Hanbin this entire season couldn't have won anything because the guys are way bigger than him. That's just my opinion. But overall, I really like Singles Inferno. I can't wait for season 3. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna remind you again to please subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys later.
Amoose.